This is Mr. Kanyela once more. We are treating the topic, the financial maths, or the maths of finance. Remember that in a matric examination, this topic is about 15 marks. It has the least number of marks, yet it can determine whether you are going to get your A or your B. So make sure that you understand this section as well. It is very easy. All that we need to do there is to be able to use our calculators correctly and understand our formulae. Fortunately, we are given all those 4 formulae at the back of our formula sheet. Now, it is important that, remember the first part I said, it is all about the compound interest. Remember the formula for the compound interest is A is equals to P into 1 plus I raised to the power n. It only becomes plus if the amount that we've put in is increasing. If it is decreasing, this sign here will be minus, referring to the compound decrease. It shows that ishona phansi into kade ngenayo ekuqaleni. Uma ngabe imoto yami ngiyithenge ngo-800,000 kulo nyanga, after 5 years the value of that car will depreciate. So if it is in that case, it will be minus here. But if I buy a house this year, after 5 years the value of that house will increase. So it will be plus in that particular sign there. It is important that we should understand the difference between the compound interest and the simple interest. There are words that our examiners use to actually talk about the compound interest. Terms like reducing balance. We should understand that when we talk about the reducing balance, it is about the compound interest. Now, let us look at how they set this topic, compound interest, in our examinations. Guys, let's look here. The formula is, in most cases, I always advise young learners when they do this section, make sure that you always collect the data first so that we can know what we have and we should know what we don't have. In most cases, you can either be asked to find A or P or I or N. So you have the other variables except one. Then you need to manipulate your formula until you come to the one that you are looking for. If you look at this problem here, if you look at this formula, what is the easiest to find? Remember, A is the total amount at the end of the investment period, P, principal amount, I, interest rate, N, the number of years. Which one will be easier to find here? Of course, A, it will be very easy to find. When given all these other ones, and I'm required to find A, I'll just plug it into my formula and get it correct. Number 2, what will be the next easier to find in this particular case? Obviously, it will be P. Which one will be the most difficult to find? Obviously, it's I and N. Hence, in examinations, you'll always be required to find I and N. Remember, where is N? N in this particular case is the exponent. So you must be able to understand how to do your exponents. Right. Let us look at the few examples that we have here. I've just picked up any 3 for the purposes of these exercises. Look at the first one. 1,570 is invested at 12% per annum compound interest. After how many years will the investment be worth 23,000? Collecting your data becomes vital important in this section. Let's read it once more. At times in this section, you will need to read your statement maybe 3 times to digest it and understand what it actually means. Let's read it once more. 1,570 is invested, which is the amount of money that we put into a particular bank. So when we collect our data, we know that value, it is P, the principal amount, the one that we invest in the bank. 1,507, it is my P. What else do I know in this information? It's invested at 12% per annum compound interest. That is my I. My I then is 12%. 12% means over 100. So it's 12 over 100. It is advisable that when you've got 12%, you go to your calculator, you punch 12 divided by 100, 12 divided by 100, and in my calculator, I'm getting 0.12. Yes, it is the same as 0.12. If you get a very big number, that is a screen circle calculator, you keep it as a fraction to make life easier. So in this particular case, it was a very smooth one. It is 0.12. You keep it in that level. Let's read this again. 1,570, which is our principal amount. It is invested at 12% per annum compound interest. So I know that I'm going to use the formula for the compound interest in this particular case because I'm told. If I was going to use the simple interest, I was going to be told as well. Right. After how many years? That's important. After how many years? So that's N. After how many? That's what I'm looking for. After how many years will the investment be worth 23,000? What is this 23,000? In other words, I'm putting a particular amount of money, which is 1,570. I'm just asking how long will it take for this amount to be 23,000? So what is 23,000 in this particular case? It is the total amount that I will get at the end of investment period. So it is denoted by symbol A, which is equals to 23,123, 23,000. Right, what is it? As I said before, remember in this section, the first part of your financial maths, in most cases, you'll be required to find I or N. In this particular instance, we're required to find N. Let's work it out. Remember what is happening here. The principal amount is smaller than the total amount at the end of the investment period. So it has increased. It's the compound increase. So we use plus there. So the formula is A is equals to P into 1 plus I raised to the power N. Writing a formula is very important because there's a mark for taking it from your data sheet into your paper. Let's put what we have. Do I know the total amount? Yes, I know. It is 23,000. So collecting the data is vitally important. It takes a very few seconds, then you are done. 23,000, it's A, 23,123 is equals to. What is my principal amount in this case? I've go to my data and check what is the value of P. In this case, it is 1,570, 1570 there. That's my P. You follow it with a bracket. You write your 1 plus, what is my I in this particular case? It is 0,12. So I can just add those two together quickly. What is 0,12 plus 1? It's going to be 1,12. This is raised to the power what? This is raised to the power N. And you are looking for that particular, for the value of that N. Now, how do we go about finding that N? Remember, guys, if you go to your grade, to your if I've got a number 8, 8 is equals to 2 to the power 3. I can change that into a log form. I can write that into a log form. If you understand the definition of a log of a number is nothing else but its exponent at a particular base. This value here is called the exponent, and this is called a base. Remember, a base is always below, at the bottom. So we are saying here, a log of 8 is equals to the exponent, which is 3 in that case. What is the base? Our base is 2. That's why we put our base 2. You must be able to understand that definition of what a log is in this particular case. Why are we bringing in logs here? Because there are exponents here. N is the exponent. So the way to bring this thing down is to involve logs. Right, let's move on. Remember what we're looking for here? We're looking for the value of N. We're looking for the value of N. So we've got to isolate N on its own. So if the first thing that we need to remove in this particular case is this value here. How do I get rid of this? I divide by it on both sides. Then I'll be left with that one. So what do I have this side? I've got 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, divided by this value, which is 1,570, which is the same as 1,12 raised to the power N. That's what I have. I'm looking for the value of N. How do I get it? But I know that a log of this number is the exponent at a particular base. It's the same scenario here. A log of this number is the exponent at a particular base. Remember, this is the exponent, this is the base. Understanding logs helps us a lot when we do the maths of finance. So a log of this value here will be the exponent at a particular base. So to write that down, we are saying a log of this number, a log of 23,000. Let me just take 2 zeros because I'm cancelling these 2 zeros. You're allowed to do that. So what do I have on the bottom here? I've got 157. 157. You close that. What is the base? You always put base at the bottom. It is 1,12. That is our base. A log of this number to this base will be equals to N. So our N will be this one. So a log of this number is that at a particular base. So a log of this number, which is this one in this particular case, at this base will be the value of n. That's how you define your logs. From here, you go straight to your calculator. You go straight to your calculator, you punch it correctly. Let's look at what we have there. Remember, this point here, in your calculator, you will have a part that deals with logs that have got the brackets there and brackets here. When you come here, in particular, in your calculator, there are two buttons that deals with log. There's the one that has two options, the option of a base and the one that does not give you the option of a base. In this particular case, it is the button on your top right there. It's log, you punch it. It will show you the both spaces where you can put those values. The first one is, let me start with the base. The base is 1,12. You just push it there on your base. It is 1,12, exactly as you see it. Once you're done with your base, you go there to the value of that log. It is a fraction. Remember, it is a fraction. You go to your fraction button there as well. Once you see your fraction, what do we have on top? It's 2,300. You punch it. It's 2,300. Make sure that you punch it correctly. This is divided by. What do I have on my denominator? 157. I've got 157. Make sure that you punch it correct. Right. Once I have that, I just punch equal sign. Then the calculator will give me the solution. What is it that I see here? I've got 23,687 and so on and so forth. So you usually write this correct to two decimal places. In this particular case, it will be 23,69. So that is how long it will take for us to reach that amount. It is 23,69 years. That's how long it will take if I invest an amount of 1,570 for how many years? Am I told for how many? I will have to invest this amount for 23,69 years for me to get 23,000. So 1,570 to take me 23,69 years for it to be amount of 23,000. That was the first part that I wanted us to look at.